Today, we're going to tackle a really persistent and frankly costly problem in shrimp aquaculture. We're talking about a microscopic parasite that quietly sabotages farms from the inside out. So let's dive into the strategic management of EHP and figure out how to fight back against this silent profit killer. You know, just for a second, picture a park in the springtime. The weather's perfect, everything's green, and you've got kids of all different ages, toddlers, 10-year-olds, teenagers, all running around playing together. It's just a perfect picture of a healthy, thriving community, right? A beautiful sign of life. But what happens if we take that exact same observation, a mix of different sizes, and we move it from that beautiful park to a shrimp pond? Well, the meaning changes completely. In fact, it's the total opposite. See, in the park, all those different sizes are a sign of a healthy, dynamic community. It's a good thing. But in a shrimp pond, oh, it's a massive red flag. That same diversity in size isn't a sign of health at all. It's a dead giveaway that some kind of hidden infection is at work, stunting the growth of a huge portion of your stock. So what is this invisible culprit that's causing so much trouble? It's time to unmask the silent thief of the shrimp pond. The bad guy here is called Enterocytozoon Hepatopenaei, but everyone just calls it EHP. And what it is a tiny, spore-forming parasite. Its main target is the single most important organ for a shrimp's growth, the hepatopancreas. You can think of it like the shrimp's liver and pancreas all rolled into one. It's basically its entire metabolic engine. And here it is. This is what we're actually up against. Under a microscope, you can see the EHP spore. This tiny little thing is what hijacks the shrimp's entire digestive system and literally steals its energy. Now, this is what makes the HSP so incredibly dangerous. You know, unlike other diseases that cause these dramatic sudden die-offs, this parasite is, well, it's sneaky. It doesn't kill the shrimp outright. It just stops them from growing. It works slowly, quietly, and by the time a farmer finally notices that big size difference in the pond, the infection has probably spread everywhere. So here's how it all goes down. First, the parasite gets into the hepatopancreas and just starts siphoning off the shrimp's energy. Then it starts to reproduce like crazy, releasing millions of new spores into the gut and then out into the pond water. And third, that's when the economic disaster becomes obvious. Farmers start seeing a huge spike in what's called the food conversion ratio, or FCR. Basically, it's a measure of how much feed it takes to grow 1 kilogram of shrimp. With EHP, the shrimp just keep eating and eating, but they don't gain any weight. It means farmers are just pouring money into feed with almost zero return. And that, of course, brings us to the financial bottom line. This isn't just a biological problem. It's a massive economic drain on the entire industry. So, what is the actual cost when your product is eating you out of house and home, but not growing? Let's take a look at the numbers. And the damage is, well, it's staggering. A healthy pond, that's your baseline, 100% of your potential profit. A low EHP infection, that cuts your profit down to about 65%. But a high infection, your profit absolutely plummets to just 20%. You're talking about losing up to 80% of your farm's profitability, all because the shrimp just aren't getting big enough to sell. And here is the visual proof. It's undeniable. The shrimp in Group A are infected with EHP. The ones in Group B are healthy. And get this, they are the exact same age. The size difference is just incredible, and it really shows you the line between a profitable farm and a catastrophic failure. Okay, so if it's this devastating, how does it even get onto a farm in the first place? Well, the ways it can spread are actually a lot more common than you might think. The short answer is EHP is kind of everywhere in the environment. The spores can survive in the pond water, just waiting to spread from shrimp to shrimp. They settle down in the mud at the bottom of the pond, creating this persistent reservoir of infection. And on top of that, they can be carried into the farm by other wild animals, like crabs or mollusks. It's incredibly hard to get rid of. But while all those environmental factors are a constant threat, one of the most direct and most dangerous ways for the infection to get in is something farmers bring onto the farm on purpose. This is a polycate worm. It's a really common live feed that's used for what's called broodstock. Those are the parent shrimp that are responsible for producing all the eggs. And here's the problem. These worms are very often contaminated with EHP. So the very food that's meant to make the parents healthy and strong is actually infecting them, and they pass the parasite on before the new shrimp even have a chance to grow. So, knowing all this, how it works, how it spreads, and the incredible damage it does, what's the solution? Well, the answer really lies in a proactive, really comprehensive strategy for biosecurity. The key is rigorous testing at every single critical stage. So the battle plan is pretty clear. First, you have to test the post-larvae, the baby shrimp, from the hatchery to make sure you're starting with clean stock. Second, you absolutely have to test all live feed to avoid introducing the parasite through their food. And third, you need to test the pond environment itself, the water, the sediment, to make sure your biosecurity measures are actually working. So we'll end with this question. When you think about the hidden nature of EHP and its power to just silently wipe out your profitability, is biosecurity just another precaution on a checklist? Or has it become the absolute core of running a successful and sustainable shrimp farming business?